Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's answer in 5. Hopefully, you are getting this. And we're trying something new again today, and then this new setup in the Wheat Marketing Center lab. And the blast freezer is going on, so that's what you're hearing in the background. Appreciate the patience. We have a team in here this week from Taiwan, just pretty much checking out U.S. wheat baking properties. So that's exciting. Let's see. Okay, so let's go down my questions. Let's do the question from LinkedIn first. Somebody asks on LinkedIn about how they can whiten up the crumb structure from something of an off-white to something that is totally white. So yes, you can use LOX or soy flour for some bleaching effect. That's a natural way of doing it. Unfortunately, if you do that, you introduce an allergen into your product. So soy flour is not exactly widely acceptable by a lot of people because of that allergen issue. If you're not able to do that, you could use something like ADA, azodicarbonamide, and it is an oxidizing agent. Actually, any oxidizing agent would help, but not completely whiten up the crumb. So crumb structure and the look of whiteness in a kind of velvety crumb is also dependent on emulsification and emulsifiers. So if you were to use something like datum, which pretty much uniformly create the cells all throughout the crumb, it reflects the light better, so you will actually get a whiter crumb from using datum. So ADA and datum, look those up on BAKERpedia, and you should be able to whiten up your crumb. All right, the next question. What kind of sugar replacement can we use in dairy desserts? So I was thinking something like maybe a cheesecake or a choux pastry, cream puffs. Those that don't go through heat, you could use a stevia-based sweetener. Also, there's a new product on the market called allulose, and you can get that from Ingredion or Tate & Lyle. Basically, they are really good sugar replacements that are heat stable. Okay, so allulose, look that up, and you should be able to use that for a sweetener replacer. One more thing about allulose is because it's as bulky as sugar, you're not going to have as much problem with you using one-on-one replacement with allulose. Okay, so check those out from especially Ingredion. Go click on Ingredion on BAKERpedia, and you can get a sample sent to you. All right, next question. Let's see. Question came through on YouTube and asking about how does the final dough temperature affect the bread. There are 2 places in terms of final dough temperature, so I don't know exactly which one you're asking about. The first one is dough temperature leaving the mixing bowl. The second one is dough temperature leaving the proofer. So if you go to our mixing page, you should be able to see the desired dough temperatures coming out of the dough mixer. And then if you go to our proofing page, a final proof, you can see the ranges that comes out from the proofer, what your dough temp should look like coming out of the proofer. So when you come out of the mixer at a really high temperature, it affects your oxidation, it affects your yeast. Too high of a temperature at the mixer is going to kill your yeast, so that's why it's better for you to have a lower temperature coming out of the mixer than a higher temperature. It also affects your oxidation levels and how fast it goes. So sometimes over-oxidation happens at a higher mixing temperature, so you have to watch that. Too high of a temperature coming out of the proofer not only increases your proof and make it faster, but sometimes it will affect a lot of the quality problems that you see coming out of proofer, big bubbles, you know, collapses, some wrinkling at the final product. So you need to make sure that your proofing temperatures is at the desired level. Don't go too hot. Also, hot temperatures coming out of proofer is going to give you a shorter bake time, because what goes in hot gets up to heat faster. So that's what's going to happen, right? Next question, the last one, because we're going over the time limit today. All right, so sugar. On sugar, can you elaborate more on texturizing property of sugar? How optimum elasticity is obtained, and what is the desired amount of gluten development? Not really sure what that question is. I'm just going to answer what are the tenderizing properties of sugar. So basically what sugar does in terms of how it texturizes is because it binds to a lot of water. Sugar binds water, and water is a plasticizer if you're a polymer scientist. And you know, with plasticizer, it gets into the starch and gluten network and makes it softer. So really the sugar is not the effect as much as its effect on water and how it binds to water and bringing in water and retaining the water in the system, right? So that's why in a lot of the bread systems, you will see an increase in how moist the product is, the more you increase the sugar level. All right. So let's see. Live, we should be good. And that's all for today. If you have any more questions, please reach out to us through our web pages on LinkedIn and BAKERpedia, and just type in your questions on any one of those pages that you are interested in, and I will do my best to answer them on this live stream. All right. Have a good one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Answer in